Well, let's get on to this. Letter number 4. To Mrs. Seville, England. August 5th, 17. What'd I fucking tell you? So strange an accident has happened to us that I cannot forbear recording it. Okay. So, like, is that him saying that he can't even talk about it? Last time he's like, nothing's really important enough to talk about. And then he's all like, this shit is too important to talk about. He's an extremist. Go hard or go home. Although it is very probable that you will see me before these papers can come into your possession. Last Monday, July 31st, we were nearly surrounded by ice, which closed in the ship on all sides, scarcely leaving her the sea room in which she floated. Our situation was somewhat dangerous, especially as we were compassed round by a very thick fog. We accordingly lay to, hoping that some fucking change. Sorry, whatever. Anywho, our situation was somewhat dangerous, especially as we were compassed round by a very thick fog. That sounds fun. We accordingly lay to, hoping that some change would take place in the atmosphere and weather. Lay to, they say. About 2 o'clock the mist cleared away, and we beheld, stretched out in our every direction, vast and irregular plains of ice, which seemed to have no end. Some of my comrades groaned, and my own mind began to grow watchful with anxious thoughts, when a strange sight suddenly attracted our attention and diverted our solitude from our own station. We perceived a low carriage, fixed on a sled and drawn by dogs, pass on towards the north. At the distance of a half a mile, a being which had the shape of a man but apparently of gigantic stature sat in the sled and guided the dogs. We watched the rapid progress of the traveler with our telescopes until he was lost among the distant inequalities of the ice. The appearance excited our unqualified wonder. We were, as we believed, many hundred miles from any land, but this apparition seemed to denote that it was not, in reality, so distant as we had supposed. Shut in, however, by ice, it was impossible to follow his track, which we had observed with the greatest attention. Who is this fellow? Or fillet. Sounds like fillet. Well, about 2 hours after this occurrence, we heard the ground sea. Okay? And before night, the ice broke and freed our ship. We, however, lay to until they keep laying to. Just lay to until the morning, fearing to encounter in the dark those large loose masses which float about after the breaking up of ice. The icebergs, I think he means. I profited at this time to rest for a few hours. In the morning, however, as soon as it was light, I went upon deck and found all the sailors busy on one side of the vessel. Busy, I say, apparently talking to someone in the sea. It was, in fact, a sled, like that we had seen before, which had drifted toward us in the night on a large fragment of ice. Only one dog remained alive, but there was a human being within it, whom the sailors were persuading to enter the vessel. He was not, as other travelers seemed to be, a savage inhabitant of some uncovered island, but a European. When I appeared on deck, the master said, "Here is our captain, and he will not allow you to perish in the open sea." We'll have to pause there and take a part 2 on this letter. Sounds great. Let's do this.